I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My family's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was scarred with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's number one Chief Rockin' Knicks University. Main man, Uncle Freezy is in the building. Salute, salute, salute. Salute, salute, salute. What's good, everybody? Yo, Drip Mall is in the building. Fritz Alcindor is in the building. Salute, salute, salute. What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? Man, do we have a juicy conversation this morning. So we got a juicy conversation this morning, man. I am fresh from out with the dogs already. Eyeballs bleeding from looking at data all morning for those grinders that know what I mean. All the work from home cats in the building. Salute to y'all, man. Got your little office space set up in your crib, working from the crib. Salute to all of y'all. Salute to everybody that went into the office and is drinking extra strong coffee this morning. Salute to y'all. Salute to everybody out there on the open road. All my truck drivers that's got Uncle Freezy blasting through their speakers. Salute to y'all. Salute to everybody watching me on a device, your tablet, your phone, however you're watching. Salute, salute, salute. Man, good morning to y'all. Got a juicy topic for y'all this morning. Man, in case you have not done so, consider subscribing to the channel. Do it. Hit the like button. Do it. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Again, I am one part of the Blowers Tears family, just coming through, rocking the spot. Appreciate everybody coming through. Everybody that contributes to the channel, man, I appreciate y'all. Salute, salute, salute. Miguel P is in the building. Salute. One of the goats of the chat, Miguel P is in the building. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the building. Salute to John from Still Knicks Fans is in the building. I wish I had an air horn. If I had an air horn that I could play, like when some people show up, I would just hit an air horn. It'll probably sound something like... Okay, air horn. All right, Aaron. Yo, see how we get carried away with the air horn, man. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry about getting carried away with the air horn. Yeah. Salute to everybody coming through. Drip More in the building. Miguel P. John, Fritz Alcindor, the son of the legend, Kerry Cox is in the building. Mega, the big homie, Mega is in the building. Salute to Mega. Mega is in the building. Salute to Mega NYK, diehard Knicks fan. Good mornings. Man, let me also salute a lot of the Knicks content creators out there and all over the world. I want to say salute to my guy, Nickinator on X. Salute to him. Salute to a lot of you guys that do a lot of stuff on X and on Instagram, IG. Salute to y'all do a lot of stuff on TikTok. Man, y'all out here representing for Knicks Universe, man. Peace be unto y'all, man. I appreciate y'all work, man. Catch y'all work all the time. I know at times, man, we don't show enough love to each other, you know, and we should. I know I'm guilty of it. I'm very guilty of not showing love. It's not because the love is not there. It's because, you know, when you're doing a joint, man, you're doing a channel, man, sometimes you get overwhelmed, bro. Sometimes you just get overwhelmed. You have someone. Ask John. John has a bussin' YouTube channel, right? Still Knicks Fans is a bussin' YouTube channel. I think they've been on probably either the same amount of time I've been on, or maybe a little bit longer, a little bit less. It don't matter. In the grand scheme of things, they have a bussin' YouTube channel, right? And they'll tell you, you have so many things going on that sometimes the little things will escape you. Right? The little things will escape you. And it's not because you do it on purpose. It's just because little things will escape you. So salute to him. Salute to NBA Economy Show. Man, doing anything on X and YouTube and everywhere. Mr. Dunris is in the building. Salute. Salute to Mr. Dunris that's in the building. Salute. Man, appreciate y'all, man, everybody for coming in. I hope your morning beverage hit the spot. I hope your Wednesday, your hump day is exactly that. Leaning towards the weekend. Hump day is the day that you could start seeing the weekend, man. Hump day is the day that you could start seeing the weekend, man. Getting over the hump. So salute to y'all. Andrew College is in the building. AK, what's good? AK, I think I may do this game on playback TV. I won't be able to do. You know the vibe, right? So I'll probably be on, but I'll be working. So I'll be on, but I'll be, So I may do this on playback TV. And I'm glad you reminded me, man. Thank you for the insight. Again, you are a very, very, very appreciated member of Knicks Universe. And I know you hear that from other YouTube channels all the time. I'm just making sure that I tell you so that you know it. And one of these days, me and Shannon Briggs, one of these days, just for AK, one of these days, me and Shannon Briggs. Yo, Mo is in the buildings. Oh my God. Where's that air horn at? Is there an air horn I can? That air horn get carried away sometimes, man. But in that case, for Mo, it's man. Listen, Mo. How Pop's doing, bro? T. Mosley in the building. Okay, now that so Mosley in the building, we can stop all the shenanigans and get the conversation started, man. Now that T. Mosley in the building, so Mosley, what's good, bro? What's good? Yeah, man. Just real quick, so shout out to all my customer service workers out there doing customer facing sales. I'm putting up with the grind. Right? Putting up with the grind, man, doing your thing, hitting your sales quotas. Salute to all the customer-facing sales. Salute to all our truck drivers out there on the open road, making sure that our life is great through logistics. So we won't have a care in the world because our transportation people are making sure we are getting stuff on time and safe, and hope they are safe also. Salute to all my transportation people out there moving stuff so we won't have to. So salute to all of y'all. Salute to all the civil servants out there. Is that for me? I'll grab that. Ow, that's hot. Uncle Freezy is such a baby. Okay. All right. Thank you. Oh, that's why. Let me take. All right. Oh, what was that? Mom just gave me something disgusting. Can I give this to you though? Okay. All right. I ain't gonna bother you no more. Okay. All right. All right. Did you put sugar in here? Okay. She dipped her finger in it. Yeah, man. So Mo says, Pops is great, man. That's great to hear. Craig is in the building. Rain, sleet, hails to Uncle Freezy is always here. Bleeds orange and blue. Has Knicks warmed up as pajamas. Yeah. Nick warm up as pajamas. Yeah, man. Absolutely. That's how we rock. Yeah, man. We woke up this morning. Yeah, give yourself and give thanks. Yep, always. I'm in that thick give thanks posse. I'm give thanks for real. I'm in that give thanks crew for real. Let me see how that. Okay, all right. There we go, camera. Yeah, man. All right, so I'm gonna try to address a topic that I'm kind of uncomfortable with, but I'm comfortable and uncomfortable. Right? I'm comfortable and uncomfortable at the same time. I'm comfortable in that I love Julius Randle. Right? I love Julius Randle. Right? Y'all know that. If there's one person in Knicks universe that's never, ever, ever, ever gonna waver on Julius Randle, you looking at him. Right? Will I criticize Randle? Yes, I criticize myself. We are critical of ourselves. So a person in the public sphere can also be criticized. That goes without saying. If you're a person in the public sphere and you're doing something for public consumption, of course you can be criticized, right? Now, here's the thing that goes along with that. Sometimes do we take this thing too far? Absolutely. But we live in a take things too far society. I saw Jazz Chisholm the other day play for the Yankees with a hat on backwards and a disco belt. I saw Jazz Chisholm, the most conservative looking franchise, the Yankees, with a hat on backwards and a disco belt. And when I saw Jazz Chisholm, all I could think about was boom, 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 boom. Shake it. Show the world you can dance. And I saw Jazz Chisholm play for the Yankees with a hat on backwards and an action green disco belt, played third base for the Yankees. Now, mind you, when I think Yankees, I think third base. When I think third base, I think Charlie Hayes. I think Scott Brocious. I think Craig Nettles. I think ultra conservative, right? I think ultra conservative. And then I see a hat to the back and a disco belt. So do we take things too far? Yeah. 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 When I think Yankees third baseman, I think ultra conservative business like person. And then there's Jazz Chisholm. So we take things too far nowadays? Yes. And this is a conversation just about Randall and critiques and things of that sort, right? Do we overreact at times? Absolutely we do. Right? Absolutely we do. When Julius Randle hit the game winner against Miami 2 seasons ago, I screamed for 4 hours, "Is this your king?" after the look on Jimmy Butler's face. Y'all remember that? "Is this your king?" I said it so much that Miss Mocha told me to shut up. Or somewhere in something like that. However, people from Miami and the Bahamas talk in that way. Like, I think she was like something like, I think she said something like, "You're gonna use up all the words," or whatever, something like whatever she said to get me to be quiet. Do you have to use up all the words in the language? Okay. I understand where you're going with it. Just Knicks is in the building. Mets is in the building. Salute. John says Alex Verdugo started it this year. New wave, new era. Okay. 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 Do we take things too far? Now that was a global comment, right? Globally, do we take things too far? Absolutely. If you've seen the political sphere, which I'm not really going to get into, I'm just gonna touch on it, not because I want to talk politics, but the way politics are handled. Do people in politics take things too far when they speak about each other? Absolutely. Absolutely. So when it comes to Julius Randle and how we feel about Randle, do we take things too far? Absolutely, I think we do. Do we overreact? Absolutely, I think we do. Right? Absolutely, I think we do. I saw Harrison Bader wear fuchsia batting gloves. The center fielder for the New York Mets is wearing fuchsia batting gloves. Are we taking things too far? Are we taking things too far? Absolutely. John says men boxing women in the Olympic Games is yes. Are we taking things too far? Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, how does that equate to this conversation? And how does that equate to Julius Randle? Well, I think asking Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby to do a disproportionate amount of lifting for a franchise that has been, for the most part, and I love this franchise, so I'm not bashing them, but it's like your family. Everybody's family is going to have strengths and weaknesses. Just Knicks, salute. Every family has strengths and weaknesses. And it might not even be temporary strengths and weaknesses. It might be generational strengths and generational weaknesses, right? And so the Knicks for the past 50 years have had generational weaknesses and blind spots. The Knicks have had generational weaknesses and blind spots. No big deal. We know what they are. No need to uncover them or cover them, right? We're not in discovery mode when it comes to what the Knicks have done for the past 50 years. We know what we've done incorrectly. We know that we've done we know one generational talent can't win championships. You have to have two, at least at a minimum. We know that now because hindsight is 2020. It's the reason why every mall in America has an optometrist. Because there are certain things you can see and certain things that you can't. Right? Whether it's physical vision or other stuff. Ivory 10 is in the building. He says Joshua Edwards got robbed. The Olympics boxing judge should be investigated. He won that fight. I didn't see it. I need to go see that. Shaw Powers is in the building. He's the shot of Iran, but he's not the Pope. Salute hip hop. For those that know, for those that remember, Greg Nice from the group Nice and Smooth. For those that remember, Nice and Smooth is funky, also hip hop junkies. Salute, Shaw Powers. Salute. So the Knicks for the past whatever have had blind spots and disorganization. Right? Not a big deal. We know that. We don't have to do a history lesson. We know that we have not won a championship in 50 plus years. 50 plus years counting. And here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. I don't believe that we should put all the weight of that on one player's shoulders. Right? We shouldn't. Because it tends to get weird. Right? It tends to get weird. Like how Boston was all over the guy that let the ball go between his legs in the World Series. Bill Buckner. A very injured Bill Buckner, who was a DH at the time, should have been a DH at the time, let a ball go between his legs against a very fast runner, and the pitcher wasn't covering the bag. So you have all these factors. Calvin Schiraldi wasn't covering the bag. Bill Buckner looks up to figure out what he's going to do. The ball goes between his legs, but Mookie Wilson, a very fast runner, is running down the line. Right? All these factors come into play, but one person gets blamed. Bill Buckner. Should Bill Buckner have gotten blame on that? No, because even if Bill Buckner catches that ball, does he beat a very fast running Mookie Wilson to first base from deep behind the first base bag? No. But the optics say Bill Buckner deserves blame, not Mookie Wilson deserves credit for running as fast as he's ever ran in his life to get to first. Right? If you're the Chicago Cubs of the 90s, do you blame Sammy Sosa for not helping you win World Series? You hit all those home runs, Sammy. But we didn't win a World Series. We keep losing to the Braves. Y'all see where I'm going with this? See where I'm going with it? If you're the Buffalo Bills, do you blame Jim Kelly and Marv Levy for not winning the Super Bowl? They went 4 times. Do you blame Thurman Thomas? No. So if you're a Knicks fan, are you hypercritical of Julius Randle because this team has not made the Eastern Conference Finals yet? I'm sorry. Do you blame Julius Randle for anything? You shouldn't, but we do. Do you blame Bill Buckner for letting the ball go between his legs, even though Mookie Wilson, probably the fastest runner on the Mets roster, was running up the line? The pitcher, Calvin Schiraldi, wasn't covering the bag? You shouldn't, but they did. Should Orlando Magic fans blame Nick Anderson for choking away free throws and clutch moments against the Houston Rockets and in playoffs after that? You shouldn't, but they did. They didn't blame Shaquille O'Neal leaving and going to the Lakers. They're thinking if Nick Anderson would have hit those free throws against Houston, we'd be having a different conversation. Right? So should we blame Randle for the team not being able to climb to the mountaintop at the speed in which we'd like to climb to the mountaintop? We shouldn't. But we do. Right? What New York Knicks has been criticized during their career as much as Julius Randle and his 5 seasons as a Knick? We shouldn't, but we do. Danny Landis is in the building. Anthony Dean, a place to be. Went to a Queens university. And since kindergarten, he acquired the knowledge. Oh, here's one. Craig, I'm glad y'all said that. And I'm glad y'all. Hey, Cheesy Soul Cakes, I'm glad y'all said that. Carmelo Anthony came in became a Knick about a year and a half after the Knicks roster had Jamal Crawford, David Lee, and Zach Randolph. Carmelo enters about a year and a half of that, right? Playing in an Eastern Conference with a generational talent like Derrick Rose, youngest league MVP ever. Melo playing against the big 3, D Wade, who had already won a championship with Miami, Chris Bosh, who in individual matchups owns Melo when he was in Toronto. And in Toronto, Chris Bosh owned Melo and LeBron. Chris Bosh in individual matchups owned LeBron James. I remember watching Toronto take their power forward, Chris Bosh, and ISO him on Cleveland's small forward, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh would cook him off the dribble. And for those that don't remember, that's one of the reasons why Miami wanted Chris Bosh. If Chris Bosh was just a random guy, Miami wouldn't have wanted him. They know Chris Bosh could cook anybody That lefty off the dribble was amazing to watch in the early years of Chris Bosh. 6'11", 230, cat quick, could jump, nice touch, lefty, smooth, skill package. Toronto Chris Bosh taking Melo off the dribble, going right on Melo, not even going left. He didn't even cross up Melo. He just go right by Melo. Melo couldn't guard him. And size had nothing to do with it. It was just cat quickness. 6'11", cat quick, finish with either hand. And Melo had to face that. Melo had to face a big three that had Ray Allen coming off the bench one year. Another year they had Shane Battier guarding Melo. Man, yeah. But should we blame Melo for not bringing a championship to the city, seeing that's what he faced? No. Knicks fans, we should be celebrating Melo in every ounce of blood, sweat, and tears he gave us. I think we should be doing the same thing for Julius Randle. Because at the end of the day, before Randle got here, we were wondering if a team would give us a second-round pick for Noah Vonleh. We had guys on the floor named Troy Williams, Trey Burke, Frank Ntilikina, Emmanuel Mudiay. Just had guys, just a bunch of dudes. And then Randle shows up, and all of a sudden, the team is competitive, and we look like something. So should you put all the weight of a half a century? So a half a century of disappointment, should we put all of that weight on one player's shoulders? No. Should we live in the moment? Absolutely. John from Still Knicks Fans says Noah Vonleh. Wow, Noah Vonleh. Yeah, man. Everything Knicks is in the building. Chef NYK says New Yorkers ain't like that, man. It's what have you done for me lately? Wait until we turn on Brunson. I'm not a New Yorker. I say that proudly. I'm from Jersey City, right? I say that proudly. But I'm from the New York tri-state area. I also say that proudly. Like, I'm not from New York. I am from the New York tri-state area, though. I say that proudly. Like, I legit can take the bus. I could take the bus on Garfield and I can either go to Journal Square and be in the city in 8 minutes, or take the Holland Tunnel and be in the city in about 25 minutes, depending on traffic. So I could say that proudly, right? I've probably been to Liberty Park a million, bajillion, quadrillion times. I can see the Statue of Liberty from my house. Every day I walk on the porch to take. Y'all remember when you used to have to move your car on one side of the street, another for the street sweeper? Y'all remember that? Y'all still doing that? I remember getting up on I think it's Mondays and Thursdays to move the car on one side of the street or another so the street sweeper can come by, right? And I could just see the Statue of Liberty, right? Just see the Statue of Liberty from my porch. Like nothing. Dripmore says, I'm from NYC, baby, East New York, Brooklyn. It's what it is. Shout out to the greatest borough that God ever created, Brooklyn, New York. Where all my Brooklynites at? Where's Brooklyn? Where's Brooklyn at? Brooklyn, stand up. J. Carl says, isn't still playing Noah? And then be mad at Randall? Yo, I'm saying so this is one of the points that I'm getting at. Like, how are you mad at Randall for coming here and being a all NBA performer multiple times and an all-star multiple times, knowing that you once had a power forward rotation of Noah Vonleh? Before that, it was Quincy AC, Derek Williams, and what's the other guy? I see his face. Michael Beasley. LIY says, salute to the greatest borough that God ever created, Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, alternate side parking. Yeah, you had to get up early, bro. You had to get up early, move your car. Had to get up early, move your car. My pops had an Electra 225. Right? I say it that way because everybody won't recognize when I say my pops had a silver deuce and a quarter. So I had to say my pops had a Buick Electra 225 because when I say deuce and a quarter, everybody won't recognize what I'm talking about. My pops had that, and he had a sky blue Tempo. A sky blue Tempo, and then he had a burgundy Thunderbird Super Coupe when they first came out in 1988. I think they had 50, and my pops was like the 25th person to get one. They shipped them in. I think they shipped them in from Detroit, and my pops got like Thunderbird Super Coupe number 25. Had the little nose things and the scoops in the hood, all that. Darren Wayne is in the building. He says Mike Schmidt was relentlessly booed in Philadelphia for no reason. They wasn't winning. They wasn't winning. They won the World Series in 80, and then after that, they wasn't winning. And it wasn't even his fault. So the point I'm getting at is there are a lot of people in Knicks universe that say things like, oh, the Randle extension, it's not a priority. Maybe they're looking to trade Randle. Maybe Randle is disgruntled. Maybe Randle wants to leave. Or we'll say stuff like, if you want Karl-Anthony Towns, Randle has to be in the deal. My question to you that suggests maybe that, and not one person. So if you feel as if I'm pointing out one person, this is not a one person directive. It's a general conversation, right? So it's not a one person directive. Like I'm not putting somebody in front of the firing squad. This is to the general conversation that seems to surface and resurface in Knicks universe. What has Karl-Anthony Towns ever won? What has Karl-Anthony Towns ever won? I knew somebody was going to say that. Yo, Outcast Assets. I knew that was coming. Right. I do it. Right. Karl Anthony Towns was the best rookie of a rookie class. But that's it. But you did answer the question, though. The question is answered. What has he ever won? He was rookie of the year. We constantly have the conversation about Randle. Does he fit? Is he gonna leave? Do you trade him if you get to the uncertain times? And all of these things, and not directed at one person. So if you felt like that was you know, if you felt like that was directed at you, turn down the Ralph Tresvant and stay with us. Don't be sensitive about that. I'm saying this is a general conversation. What has Cat ever won? And does Karl Anthony Towns fit what New Yorkers like to see from a NBA basketball player? Does Karl, and I'm not knocking Cat because he's a Hall of Famer in my eyes. In my eyes, Karl Anthony Towns is a Hall of Famer, right? But does he fit what New Yorkers like to see out of their basketball players? Does he fit? When you think New York Knicks basketball, do you think Karl Anthony Towns? When I think New York big men, I think Willis Reed. When I think New York Knicks big men, I think Patrick Ewing. Right? When I think New York Knicks big men, I think Charles Oakley. I think Kurt Thomas. I think Marcus Camby. I think Bill Cartwright. I think Julius Randle. I think Mitchell Robinson. And if you notice, all those dudes are different. All those men are different than what Karl Anthony Towns provides. Is it fair for me to say that? Is it fair for me to compare Karl Anthony Towns to Willis Reed? Karl Anthony Towns' father probably wasn't born when Willis Reed played. Maybe he was, maybe he was. I don't know. When we think New York Knicks basketball, we think a certain archetype. And whether we acknowledge it or not, Julius Randle, for the most part, fits that archetype of the New York City big man. Tough, gritty, kind of ride that enforcer line. The guy that's kind of a live wire, can kind of go off any second. Living on the edge, kind of Randle. E. Gibson says, I would much rather have Randle. We just need him healthy. Big Cat has a great offensive skill set, but hasn't proved he has an impact on winning. Bim. Right. Especially at power forward. Cat at power forward is a non-starter for me. Off rip. Tony Crow, Knicks and Bruce is in the building. Peace, Kings. Peace. When you think about does Julius Randle have a future with the Knicks, think about what we're asking. Think about the origin of the question and not the question itself. Think about the origin of the question. It's like a hip hop beat, right? Think about who the producer is first, right? And then think about the beat. Then you're like, oh snap, he in his bag. Speaking of which, I purchased the Rakim album. I'm in love. I purchased the new Rakim album. I'm in love, y'all. I purchased the new Common and Pete Rock album. I'm in love. Anthony D says, how could that be when Randle missed the playoffs? And Anthony D, my question to you is, were the Knicks missing the playoffs before Randle got here? Were the Knicks missing the playoffs before Julius Randle got here? And when Randle got here, under this new regime, did the Knicks with Randle make the playoffs 3 out of 4 years? Is Julius Randle a fit for this current iteration of Knicks? What is Julius Randle exactly? Right. My question is, so I've been asked, does Julius Randle fit? I've been asked by about 40 or so people all throughout since the summer started, since the offseason started. I've been asked by about 40 or 50 people, does Randle fit? And then I've been asked by the same 5 to 10 people over and over again. And they think it's funny. But I don't know if Randle is a fit. Danny, that's me mocking them, by the way. That's not my real voice. That's me. I'm mocking them. And salute to Danny and Lucas, longtime listeners. Salute to my guy, Lucas. I bet you Lucas is probably 6 foot tall right now. The last time I saw Lucas, last time I saw baby boy, he looked like he was going to be 7 foot tall. He's probably 6 foot tall right now, grabbing every rebound in sight. Salute to Danny and family. So here's the thing. Before I answer the question, is Randle a fit? What I'm going to say is I'm going to do 2 things that diverge, but then they'll come together like a Beatles song. So item number one is, how do you know who is a fit when you've never seen this team fully healthy on the floor? How do we know that Jalen Brunson might be the odd fit? Dante DiVincenzo may be the odd fit. Josh Hart may be the odd fit. Mikal Bridges might be the odd fit. OG Anunoby may be the odd fit, right? Mitch may be the odd fit. We don't know because we haven't seen this group of guys on the floor yet. It may take some time for these guys to adjust in order to fit together. So before we see these guys, on the floor, it's reckless to say who's a fit and who's not. Especially for the ones that don't know the intricacies of basketball. Like if you're a diehard fan, and you can be that. And you could be that. You could be a diehard fan, right? Hey man, be a diehard fan. That's what we want. Right? Be a diehard fan. That's what we want. But as a diehard fan, if you talk basketball stuff and you don't really know basketball like that, then you're saying reckless stuff. That's me like slapping wrists. Like if you don't know basketball like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with not knowing all the ins and outs of basketball. You don't have to. You just watch it at the level that you like and rock with it and cheer for it. And boo to show disapproval, right? Like you don't have to be John Wooden to root for the Knicks, right? You don't have to know basketball like John Wooden. You don't have to be the guy from St. John's with all the sweaters on, right? You don't have to be the guy from St. John's with the sweaters and the big and the Cazelles. John, y'all remember Cazelles? Remember the glasses, Cazelles? So you don't have to be Lou Carnesecca, right? You don't have to be Lou Carnesecca. You don't have to be the guy from you don't have to be John Thompson. You don't have to be the guy from UConn. You don't have to be Jim Boeheim. You don't have to be Jim Calhoun in order to root for basketball, right? But to take their stance as if you are Louis Carnesecca. Randle's not a fit. Well, how does Randle not fit? I don't know. You got OG, you got McKay. Oh, wait. No, Randle and OG don't have anything to do with each other. How does Randle not fit? Like, explain it to me. Well, Jalen Brunson gonna run the pick and roll. No, Jalen Brunson and his pick and roll partner have nothing to do with Randle. How does Randle not fit? If you're that guy, just relax. Relax. Like, there's nothing wrong with not being Gino Auriemma, right? You don't have to be Gino Auriemma to watch basketball. But to make suggestions as if you're Gino Auriemma, right? That's what we got to kind of relax. To say Randle doesn't fit and you hadn't even seen the team play basketball yet makes me think that reckless statements are being made out of some weird emotional displacement. Let's watch them on the floor first. Watch them on the floor. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Raleigh. Yeah. Raleigh Massimino. Yeah. I forgot about Raleigh. The reason why he slipped my mind is because when he left and went to UNLV, I forgot about Raleigh Massimino. Yeah. If you don't know the game like that, and to make an emotional deep dive when you're not really that basketball guy, then for instance, if IKBM Dre came on and said, "Hey man, I don't know if Randle was gonna fit," I'd be like, "Okay, all right, Dre. Hey, can you explain that to us? Why?" Because IKBM Dre knows basketball. He knows the basketball. He knows the calculator gymnastics. He knows the deep dive analytics, and he knows the stuff on the floor. But since you've never seen this iteration of Knicks on the basketball floor, we can't really say that one player or another doesn't fit because we hadn't seen them yet. We hadn't seen them yet. And so if there is an assumption, right? And so if there is an assumption of maybe Randle fits or doesn't fit, ask yourself, what is Julius Randle? What type of player is Julius Randle? What type of player is Julius Randle? So Julius Randle, in my mind, is a little bit of this, a little bit of that. He can shoot the three a little bit for a 250-pound power forward. He can pass the ball a little bit, get high assist totals for a power forward. He can score a little bit in the mid-range, can bully around the rim. For a 250-pound man, he's an excellent free throw shooter for a man that's 250 pounds. Big hand men. So in theory, Randle is a power forward's version of a Swiss Army knife. Decent defender for his position, great rebounder for his position, decent shooter for his position, excellent passer for his position, very tough physical player. He can do all those things, right? He's like, if you combine Nas Reed, Montrezl Harrell, Isaiah Stewart, all stout 250-pound men, if you combine all of them together, they still won't be as good as Julius Randle. If you combine the archetype of the 6'9", 250 guy, they still won't be as good as Julius Randle. Julius Randle, in theory, and once he plays in practice, he's practically he's a Swiss Army knife at the power forward position. Can pass, can shoot it a little bit, can rebound at a high level. Decent defender at the four. He can do he's a Swiss Army knife. Now, with that said, whoever said that you don't need a do-it-all tool, a do-it-all tool never fits, is somebody that's just a hater. Right? Julius Randle is a toolbox. That's what he is. Whatever you need that night, that's what he can provide for you. And so if you say Randle doesn't fit, that means you don't value flexibility. You don't value flexibility. And there's no harm in that, right? There's no harm in that. Right? Not a big deal. Does Randle fit? Does he belong here? All those things. Otherwise says Randle is a hybrid cross tour, part power forward, part wing. Yeah. And if Randle's skill set is one that he is super flexible, right? He provides whatever the team needs from a 6'9", 250-pound man. And I'll tell you who else is 6'9", 250. Jericho Sims. Jericho Sims is 250 pounds. How y'all like his skill set? Salute to my guy Jericho Sims, by the way. Jericho Sims is 250. Beef Stew Isaiah Stewart is 250. Montrezl Harrell was 250. Naz Reid was 250. When you have the guys that are in that range that are 250 or so, they generally have one skill that they bring to the table. Naz Reid can shoot the three. Isaiah Stewart can rebound for his size and shoot the three a little bit. Montrezl Harrell is a finisher at offensive rebounding finisher at the rim, nothing else. Julius Randle does all these things and more. And depending on the night, whatever you need, he offers that. Julius Randle can handle a little bit. For those that don't think that he can handle, search on YouTube for the clip where he absolutely sauced up Naz Reid when Naz Reid came out to the perimeter to guard Randle, and Randle danced like a bear, crossed that man up and shot that three in his face. The lefty three looked so smooth from the perimeter. Yeah. He can finish at the rim. Yeah, he's a better finisher at the rim now. He can finish at the rim. I'll give him credit for that too. Appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. His offensive game is definitely coming along. Definitely coming along. But if we're asking what Julius Randle is, if Julius Randle checks all those boxes, can finish, can dribble, can shoot from range a little bit, good in the mid-range, great rebounder, great in transition, decent defender, all those different things, right? How do we say he can't fit when he can do multiple things? Julius Randle is like your black on black Jordan 11s. They go with everything. Your black on black Jordan 11s go with everything. They match everything. It don't matter what outfit you're wearing. It don't matter if you have on slacks or cargo shorts. They fit. In my mind. Sherwin is in the building. Salute. East Blue Jew is in the building. Salute. East Blue Jew says, people who wasn't watching in January says he can't fit. Right. The January Knicks, the January Knicks thing should be a thing that we should think about for a long time. When we think Knicks tape, we should also be thinking January Knicks. January Knicks is a thing. Right? Think about what happened if you're Julius Randle in that January, right? January, you pull off a major trade. You have zero time to practice. Mitchell Robinson is already hurt, right? Mitch was already hurt by that time. You have new bodies coming into the fold. Right. You have new bodies coming into the fold. Bunch of stuff. Randle, OG, and Anunoby get on the floor and they click like they've always been together. Randle and OG and Anunoby click as if they have always played together. I'm looking for Julius Randle's game log from January. So Julius Randle's game log from January. He shot 47.9% from the floor. So he shot 48% from the floor, 37% from three, 82% from the free throw line. He grabbed 8.3 rebounds, averaged 5.3 assists, and averaged 25 points a game. So Julius Randle in January was 25-8 on 37% shooting from three. And he did that from January 1st to January 27th, and he played 35 minutes a night. Otherwise says January is a big point of emphasis, but the main thing I look at is how hard it was for Brunson to operate without Randle, how inefficient Brunson became without Randle, especially from three. Yep. And Nick Yak says we lead the league in points in the paint. How is Randle the only threat? Right. Yeah. That's a good question. I never said that. I never said Randle is the only threat. I think, did somebody in the chat say that? Or Nick Yak, are you responding to somebody in the chat? Because I didn't say that. What I'm speaking to is fit. What I'm talking about is fit. I'm not talking about in any of that other stuff. Man, in April, Jalen Brunson averaged 36 points a game, y'all, in April. In April, Jalen Brunson averaged 36 points and 9 assists in April. Crazy. He averaged 29 points and 6 assists in March. In February, Jalen Brunson averaged 32 points and 7 assists. In January, Jalen Brunson averaged 29 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds in January. And so the reason why I mentioned those numbers is not because I think Jalen Brunson can average 37 points per game for an entire year. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is with the addition of better players, it'll be easier somewhat for great players to be more efficient. Jalen Brunson is a laser-focused playmaker. Right? A laser-focused playmaker. That's what he is. Jalen Brunson is a laser-focused playmaker. Right? And Julius Randle is the opposite. Julius Randle is a esoteric Swiss Army knife. They are what you call peanut butter and jelly. That's what they are. Peanut butter and jelly. And if you want to have a dynamic duo, is this duo one of the most dynamic? Is this duo not one of the most dynamic in the league? A laser-focused playmaker on the perimeter and an esoteric Swiss Army knife on the wing and paint area. Is that not what you need? Is that not what you call complementary basketball? Now, what you add to this Justice League of guys, your top two being all-stars, what you add to a Mount Rushmore of Randle and Brunson is Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby and Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo. And of that four, any given night, one of those four can be your third or fourth best player. Right. Yeah, Nick Yak, that's what yeah. So their shot attempts may go down. Right? Their shot attempts may go down. Probably will. Jalen Brunson's not going to take 25 shots a game. That's in that Kobe Bryant era of not passing the basketball. Right? So he won't take 25 shots a game. But what could happen is Jalen Brunson enters that 50, 40, 90 conversation. Ironically, the hardest part, the 40%, is the easiest part for Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson in his career flirts with 50% from the floor. He flirts with that, right? Not a big deal. We know who Jalen Brunson is. He flirts with that all the time. 50% from the floor. As a matter of fact, I have his stuff pulled up right here. Jalen Brunson, 40, 46, 46, 52, 50, 49. Last year, he's 47.9. For his career, he's 49% from the floor. So he flirts with 50%. So with more talent, Jalen Brunson can be in that 50-40 conversation. Salute to Rel. We talk Mavs in the building. Cause we geek. What's good? Man, y'all got to check out Cause We Geek, man. Y'all got to check that out. That's Rel and his cousin Will chopping it up about all things geek related. Salute to my guy Rel. Jalen Brunson flirts with the 50-40 part. The 90 part may be the hardest for him. For his career, Jalen Brunson is a 82% free throw shooter. Last year, he shot his career high 84.7. It's a hard jump to go from 84 to 90. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a hard jump. That's a hard jump. That's a difficult jump. Okay. All right. I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming. I thought you were talking Jalen Brunson. Okay. E. Gibson says, healthy, we have a very versatile offensive with offense with great depth and potential. One of the best defenses, especially on the perimeter with Bridges and OG. And I said it last night. Right now, if you put the Celtics and the Knicks in a gym right now, right, best out of 7, the Knicks beat the Celtics in 5 games right now. I'm talking about at this moment. At this moment, my belief is if you put the Celtics and the Knicks in a gym, right, best of 7, right, 4 out of 7, I think the Knicks win 5 out of 7. Win in 5 games right now. And part of that has to do with Porzingis being out until January or December or whenever he comes back. Part of that has to do with their center rotation being Al Horford, Luke Cornett, and Xavier Tillman right now. Benny. What are you doing? No, what are you doing? You ready to go outside? Oh, he walked straight to. As soon as I said outside, he walked straight to the door. So is Randle a fit? Is he here to stay? Here's the part. The scheme fit, the personality fit is not even a question. The scheme fit. The scheme fit, personality fit is not even a question. Because scheme fit, offensively and defensively, Julius Randle is a Swiss Army knife. So there is no real question about does he fit, does he not? Right? Does he fit, does he not? That's not even a question. Right? I guess the real questions are does Randle like being a Knick? Right? And I guess we should ask ourselves, is that really even a question? Is that really even a question? Probably not. Probably not. Man, I'm going to clip this a little bit short so I can handle Benny, everybody. Thank y'all for coming through and rocking with us. Consider, if you're watching and you have not and you hadn't become a member or subscribed to the channel, do it. I'm going to holler at y'all later on Playback TV around 3 o'clock. Peace, everybody.